So this is Ventureland. This is one of our quest or hub areas based roughly off of Adventureland in the parks. In Disney Epic Mickey, you have some core gameplay mechanics, and notably your thinner and your paint. So you can erase things, which removes them from being obstacles. You can also paint them back in. You can use this, you can find hidden rewards. You can create new platforming paths for yourself. Remove obstacles and do any of those kinds of things. Now, since this is a quest kind of map, we're going to go up here and we're going to talk to Smee, or really a rejected version of Smee. Wasteland is basically analogous to Disneyland, and it's filled with 80 years of forgotten, retired, and rejected characters. We use these 2D movies that are basically animated storyboards that help convey information. They're basically a nod toward traditional animation. In this particular setup, what Smee is telling us is there's a machine that's turning pirates into robotic monsters, and the remaining pirates have fled from Skull Island and other places, broken the machine that powers the door as they came through. And if we want to fix that and solve this problem on behalf of the pirates, we have to gather several pieces before we can move on. So if we return those pieces to Smee, he'll repair the door for us, and then we can proceed to the next level. He also gave us a secondary quest that we can tackle if we choose to, and that is we can stop the machine that's converting these pirates. That's an optional thing. There are consequences if we do it or if we don't do it, and there are consequences depending on how we choose to solve that secondary quest. So here I talked to Scurvy Pat, and he has the compass, but he's not going to just give it to us. He gives us a mini quest of his own that he wants some treasure retrieved, and then he'll give us the compass. He also gives us the option to go around, search for enough tickets to purchase the compass outright. It's kind of a simple example, but throughout the game we try to provide multiple ways that the player can solve problems. We don't want people to get stuck because they can't find enough tickets, or they're not great at some of the more challenging platforming or any of those kind of things. You'll notice another thing that we've added in tribute to Disney and animation history, these painted backgrounds and then an animated foreground, traditionally referencing those static plates and then the animated characters on the front. There's no treasure, but there's a bear, so I'm going to grab that just in case maybe that's what he needs. And we'll head back over here and give that to Pat just to see if that's what he's looking for. So like I said, you can use paint to fill in platforms and create ways that weren't previously accessible. And there's another one of those masks that look like it might be useful, so I'm going to pick up some of those. Jump down here. And here we have Scurvy Pat, so we'll see if the bear is what he's looking for. Oh, and it is. He named his bear Treasure. That's awesome. So we found out that is what he's looking for, so he gives us the compass. Again, if we weren't able to platform for it, we could have just found an alternate means by paying for it. So there are a couple more items that we need. So we know that Tiki Sam has the ship's wheel, so we're going to talk to him. This is a store. We do have a game economy within the game. He's a tiki connoisseur, and he's got the ship's wheel, and it's the same one he has from the pirates that looted his tiki collection. So if we round up the masks, he'll give us the wheel. He'll also open his store again. Since I've picked up a couple of these as I've been platforming around, I'm already ahead of the game, but his favorite is still missing. So this is going to give us a key example of the kind of playstyle matters or choice and consequence mechanic we have within the game. I know where the other mask is, and I know it's a decent little platforming challenge. Instead, I'm going to run around back here, melt the back of Tiki Sam's shop, and I noticed that I can get to his masks that I saw after he picked them up from me. Gus, who's kind of our Jiminy Cricket in this game, is not sure that's such a great idea. But in the interest of getting to Skull Island as quickly as possible to save the pirates, I'm going to go ahead and recycle this one mask. All right, so he appreciates it. He's none the wiser. So not only do I complete that quest and he gives me the ship wheel, but he opens up his shop. So this is our quest level or hub level where we get quests and get information about Wasteland. This next area is one of our 2D travel maps. We have dozens of these throughout the game, and they're based on traditional cartoons from the Disney archive. So this one is Steamboat Willie, first theatrically premiered cartoon with Mickey Mouse, first synchronized sound cartoon. And it's as you can see, it's a traditional just kind of side-scrolling fun platformer. And there are a couple of ways to move through the platformer. I can go the straightforward lower route, or I can choose to take the slightly more challenging upper route, which is going to give me different rewards. But at the same time, we don't block players who may not be as good at the platforming and jumping, but I do get a nice pickup in the form of that film reel there. So now I'll proceed on to Skull Island, which is an example of our third type of map. Skull Island is based off of Skull Rock in Peter Pan. When we talk about the game being based on 80 years of history, we're not kidding. And I think a mini game that fans are going to find within the game are just identifying all the things that come from Disney movies and theme parks and films. So we found a TV sketch, which is an alternate core mechanic that I'll show. So let me show you how we can deal with enemies in different ways. So we have these bad guys. These type of guys are a type of blotling called a spatter. And I can attack these guys with my thinner, and because they're made of tune, that thins them out. Or I can, well, we'll let my guardian take care of them. I'll take care of this guy and show you a different way to handle them. So just as an indicator through the game, Gus lets us know there are these flags throughout, so we should look for those things throughout the game to raise the ship. So on the other enemies I used thinner, and here I'm going to use paint, which turns this enemy into a friend of mine, as you can see by being covered in paint and the little Mickey emoticons there. So now this guy will fight on my behalf. The other thing that I could do instead of either painting or thinning enemies is I can use these TV sketches, and there are a number of sketches available to Mickey, but we're just talking about the TV right now. I can aim over here because I know that if this guy gets alerted, he will close this gate on me. But if I distract him with the TV, because who doesn't love TV, you'll notice that he sits down and decides to watch Steamboat Willie, which, you know, who can blame him? So I'll thin out this anchor, which releases the rope and raises the ship. So that's a look at Disney Epic Mickey, exclusive to the Wii and coming out holiday of this year.